Eamon O'Carroll, you've conducted your review of the Batley game. Any areas from that game that you focused on this week with the boys?
Yeah, a couple. We the big one out of there is just the quality of our 1% effort areas. I think we took a step back on that, so that's something that we've driven this week in practice, which has been really good. And just a couple of things around our detail and our ruck defence. We probably dropped below our standard there, which is disappointing for us, but a good lesson for us moving forward and gives us something to be better at this weekend.
It felt to my eye that it was a real slow game. Is that kind of like a warning and a learning curve for the side that they can try and to attempt to up the tempo, if that makes sense?
Yeah, look, we were aware of that, but then when you look at the conditions, they were terrible. So yeah, it was a real poor, slow game. I think it would have been difficult for anyone to kind of drive the intensity of it. I think we did for periods, and when we did, we looked to be on top, but probably struggled to do it for long periods of time. So yeah, leading up to the game, we knew it was going to be that kind of a game. The conditions certainly didn't help us on our field, but we managed to get the job done. Yeah, not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but we came away with 2 points, secured ourselves in the playoffs, which is great, and obviously came out of it knowing that we need to be a lot better as well, so a positive day.
The club has achieved its aims at the start of the season, which of course was a top 4 finish and that home playoff game. How pleased are you with that achievement, that you've reached that goal with 2 games to go?
Oh yeah, look, it is pleasing, but it's not something that we're really focusing on. We want to keep striving to be better, and winning games really important now that we've secured that, but we want to make sure that we go into the playoffs with some good consistency and some rhythm in terms of our performance and in terms of some of our team selections as well. So yeah, it's great. Obviously, it's nice to do that with 2 rounds to go, but the important bit and the bit I'm looking at is, well, what's next for this group? What's next? What can we do? Now we need to finish as high as we possibly can. We need to be performing and getting better each week.
When you look at the season and the adversity, and certainly that sort of weekly disruption that you've had to deal with, the fact that you are in this place now, is that a good reflection of the efforts of the side?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they deserve huge credit for that. There's been a lot of disruption. We've had a number of players playing out of position and playing in key positions. John Davis, Tyrone Ott, both playing halves. I think Tyrone's probably played in the half more than he has at hooker, and JD's probably done the same as well. So yeah, it's testament to the group. They've really bought in. And I want to make sure that they're aware of that. I think what they've done is fantastic, and huge credit to the rest of the staff as well. It has been a difficult year. But we move on, and that's the challenge of the championship and of sport. You have to overcome them things, and we could certainly have been in a stronger position, but I think we've handled it incredibly well, and that's testament to the group.
And there's still a chance Bradford could end up in second place, and the rewards that achievement will bring.
Yeah, brilliant. We'd love that, and that's what we're hunting. We've got to look after our own. What we're doing, we can't look over the fence and see what other results are or what's happening. We've just got to solely focus on us. We've got a huge challenge in the derby this weekend. We need to make sure that we perform and get that one done, and then we're going to have a real difficult home fixture, our last home fixture against Swinton, who we played a couple of times this year, and they're always real challenging games. So we've just got to focus on ourselves, and then the rest will look after itself.
Toulouse do have that sort of advantage of playing tomorrow, the 24 hours before Bradford Halifax. Do you see that having a bearing on anything if Widnes were to, put a big performance in against Toulouse?
Well, we've just got to be professional and focus on Halifax. It's going to be a real difficult game. They're going to be hurting for a number of reasons. Early on in the year, we managed to get the victory over them, and obviously it's no secret what they've been through at the minute. So they're all going to be pulling together and seeing this game as an opportunity to put some wrongs right, and probably cover over some of the cracks if they end up beating Bradford in their last home game. So I want us to just be really professional, focus on this, not worry too much about Toulouse. We've probably done that, to be fair, in parts of the season where we've had the opportunity to make that next step and probably took our foot off the gas a little bit. So we're fully focusing on Halifax.
How important is the attitude of the side, knowing that you're going to be going to the Shea, big local derby. There's going to be a lot of emotion and passion out there on display.
Yeah, lots to be excited about it. I think it's good. That's what we want to be in. We want to be in them games where you're playing in front of a hostile crowd. I think our fans will certainly add to that. I think our away following is fantastic. So I'm looking forward to it. Look, those are the games you want to be in. Those are the ones that you can't wait for Warwick, because you run out and you get to feel the crowd, and then obviously when the game kicks off, they'll play a huge part. So it's time for us to be excited about that.
Halifax clearly fighting for championship safety and also off-field survival of the club itself. Are you expecting a real tough physical encounter on Sunday?
Yeah, even if they wasn't going through that adversity, it's a derby. Everyone keeps telling me, how intense these games are. For even the round 2 game here had that element about it. So but we know how to approach that. We know how we have to. I think it's important we get our attitude right, and we probably played the game the week before against Batley was probably the perfect game for us, because it wasn't perfect, and we know that we're going to have to be better in a number of departments if we want to get the victory at weekend.
8 non-UK players in the team last week, and likely a similar number this week. And have you had to talk to those players about the importance of this fixture? Because obviously you say it's a derby game, but they might quite not know just how intense and hostile it is going to be there 3 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah, I actually asked Reedy to do that at weekend. I thought he did a great job of it. Spoke to him about a number of things. I won't go into too much detail, but then I probably finished it off with just, it's about us and we've got a job to do. So I thought that was really good. The lads do have a good understanding now about what this means, but I think there's a bigger picture to it. It's a derby, there's bragging rights, but we just said 2 minutes ago that we want to be finishing up as high as we possibly can, and whether that's 4th, 3rd or 2nd, what else is important is that we've got an element of consistency within our performances, and that's ultimately what matters at weekend, making sure we perform.
Liam Finn has highlighted that his side are light in the forwards. They do struggle for impact down the middle. Is that an area you feel that Bradford do hold an advantage going into Sunday's game?
Potentially, but I think they're quite strong in that area. And again, it's a derby, so they're going to be coming after us. So that's a big challenge for our boys to make sure we get our intent right and we drive that and go after them. So I'm not too sure about that. I've been involved in a lot of derbies myself as a player and as a coach, and you can take recent form completely out of it. It's about the team that wants to go after it the most. So that'll be my challenge to my group.
Bradford have been in this position twice previously, Eamon, won 4 games and then either lost or the draw with Toulouse. What would it mean to, psychologically perhaps, to go into the playoffs with the best form of the season behind the club?
I think it's just really important for us as a group. We want to take that next step. So we've not referenced that too much. The players are aware of it, but that will be a driving factor in terms of how we want to perform. There's a bigger picture here, and that should be what's driving us.
George Tafua misses out due to suspension. How much of a loss is he going to be?
Huge, yeah, huge. Disappointing for George. I feel there's an element of bad luck for him there, but we have to move on. Someone else gets an opportunity now, and George is really frustrated, but we'll get him back at the right time and we'll see the best version of him.
How close were the club to potentially appealing that?
Yeah, pretty close. We ended up having a good look at it. Nobby had a good look at it. I got some other opinions from some other coaches as well, and just got their thoughts on it. And you just don't know what you're going to get. So to run the risk of going in there and potentially getting an extra game on there, we just didn't feel like it was worth the risk. Although we were disappointed with the other ones, we totally understood them. We never would have challenged them. I thought I was pretty unlucky with that one, to be fair.
Kieran Gill's named in the 21-man squad. What's the progress with Gilly? Is he likely to feature Sunday?
Yeah, he'll be back, Gilly. We'll hold that back. He's back. He's ready to go. He's trained. He's been really disappointed that he's not been in the team, so he's hungry and wants to get back out there, which I think will be great for us. It'll be good to have him back. We've certainly missed him. I think the players that have stepped in have done a great job. But again, we want to get some consistency back now in terms of our performance and make sure we're at our best when we go into them playoffs. And he's probably got 2 weeks there to get back to his best. I'm sure he will.
There's no Jack Smithley and Tyndall in the squad. I'm kind of guessing, was that a hard or easy decision to make on that one? Because I'm kind of guessing from their point of view, George Tafua's out suspended, perhaps a chance for them to get in the know.
No, do you know what? Fair play to them. really professional and two great lads, and I think it was really important that we communicated the scenario to them when they came here, and they were fully aware of that. Jack's fantastic. He's doing his bit at Leeds there and wanting to impress Brad Arthur, which is great, and we know that when we need him, he's available. He still comes and does the training session with us. He's just a great kid, and as is Tyndall, I think he played that role for the club last year as well. Unfortunately, Liam's sick at the minute as well, so he wouldn't have been able to feature anyway.
And just finally, Eamon, it's the club's awards night this evening at Cedar Court. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, my first one, so it'll be good. Good to see the boys, nice and relaxed, to see them out of the environment, spend some time together, spend some time with our supporters, our sponsors, the board, hopefully enjoy a great evening.
And it's not just your first team, there's going to be the women's, the academy, the wheelchair, the PDRL, you know, a good diverse mix of, you know, what's great about the Bradford Bulls.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really glad we're doing it that way. It'd be great to have everyone under one roof. So yeah, again, really looking forward to getting around a few people tonight and spending some time with them. We don't always get the opportunity to do that. So the club's worked extremely hard. Tracy's worked extremely hard, and Jason. So I'm sure it's going to be a great night, and I hope it is.